Hello, my name is Renisha Williams, and today I'll be talking about suicide awareness. Juliette Lewis once said, "The bravest thing I've ever done is continue living when I wanted to die." And to me, suicide, especially right now during the pandemic, is a very big topic that I think we should all be talking about, especially when it comes to people's mental health, because there's a lot of people dealing with their depression and their anxiety, and right now it's eating them up because we're out of our norm. We're not able to socialize like we usually do. We can't go out into large groups and come together anymore. And for a lot of people, that cuts them off to the only support systems that they really have. And I think it's very important that we start paying attention to our loved ones and our friends and making sure that we're there when they need us. Me personally, I've lost an uncle as well as a friend to suicide. So the topic to me is very important. And there's a lot of websites and a lot of resources out there to help people who need help. The Suicide Lifeline website talks about some signs of people having suicidal thoughts. So often people will start to talk about feeling hopeless and there being no meaning in life. And when people start to say things like that, you want to pay attention. Even if you think like, they're just joking. No, you still need to pay attention and be aware that your friend might seem like they're making a joke about it, but they could be 100% serious, because there's often some truth within a joke. If you listen to a lot of people's jokes, there's always a little bit of truth in it. So I think it's very important to listen to things like that. And another sign that the Suicide Lifeline website mentions is people isolating and withdrawing themselves. So right now, especially, it's the pandemic, it might seem a little bit normal to not hear from people, but don't forget, if you have a friend or a family member that usually you talk to them on the phone at least once a day, or you're so used to hanging out with them, make sure you check on them. Make sure you check on your friends and your family and say, hey, like, is there anything you need to talk about? What's going on in your life? Is there anything new? It's good to just be there. Listen. It's very important to listen and not judge, because a lot of people put their input in, and a lot of people listen to respond instead of listening to understand. And you don't have to necessarily agree with them about what they feel like their problem is, but at least be that ear, be that shoulder that they need to understand that there's someone there for them. And then also give them the opportunity and to express themselves to you. That way they feel like they have someone. And then also offer them some resources. There's a lot of hotlines out there. There's websites. The CDC has information on strategies they use to help with stress, help people deal with stress. Look for risk factors. So if you have a friend or a family member that has experienced a lot of trauma or abuse, it's really good to focus on, okay, let me just have like some check-ins with this person. Let me see what's going on. Because if there's someone with history of trauma or abuse and there's something that's triggering that, they might feel like that's the only way for them to just escape it, even if they're not still in the situation, but they might be dealing with the aftermath of it. They might be dealing with the effects of what that trauma or that abuse did to them. So it's very important to reach out to those people and make sure that if they're still feeling the effects and the aftermath of it, to help them get help them get the therapy, help them get an outlet for them to express themselves and for them to get it off of them, so they're not constantly, going to sleep at night thinking about it, or waking up thinking about it, or going through the day just thinking about it, and then it starts to eat them up inside. And it's also really good to let them feel loved and to know that you're going to support them no matter what. And it's very important the CDC website. It also lists that people with history of substance abuse are often at risk for suicide. So think about if you have a friend that, normally they don't do drugs, normally they don't drink, and all of a sudden they just start partying hard. They're drinking every day. They're doing drugs every day. It's really good to pay attention to behaviors like that because, okay, something's wrong. That's not the person that you know. So it's good to say, hey, like, let's do a check-in. You know, that's not your normal behavior. You're not usually doing this. You know, what's going on with you? You know, let's go talk to this person and let's see if we can find another way for you to express yourself. Or, you know, why are you trying to like numb yourself? Like, let's get you the help you need for you to talk to someone about why you're trying to numb whatever pain that you're feeling, you know. And let your friend know, let your family member know that they're not alone. And just remember, especially during this time, when it comes to talking to people, just remember, don't be rude. Like, that's one thing. Us as humans, we need to be kinder to each other because you don't know what someone's holding on their shoulders. Some people feel like they're holding the weight of the world on their shoulders. So it's very important for you to just, you know, be there when the person needs you, and to just, even if it's a stranger, just be kind. That's all you have to do. Be kind. That's the one thing we can do during this time, is to just be kind to one another, regardless of whatever our sex, our race, our religion, and or whatever makes us different. The one thing that can make us the same is just being kind to each other and just uplifting each other. Even if you don't know the person, just continue to be supportive and say like, hey, like, you know, remember, someone cares about you. Someone cares about you.